Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Keep Calm and Crochet. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this eyeball keyring. For this tutorial you're going to need white, black, blue and red double knit yarn. In addition to this you are going to need a 3.5mm crochet hook, pair of scissors, darning needle, a stitch marker and one of these keyring holders. Now before we start, if you enjoy watching my tutorials, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started. We're going to start off with the black color, and for this let's go ahead and work a slip knot. Slip your hook inside and chain 2. 1, 2. From here you're going to skip your first chain and work 6 single crochets in the second chain from your hook. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and my 6th one. Once you have your 6 single crochets, you're going to pull on this bit of yarn to eliminate the gap between your stitches, and this will bring your stitches nice and close together and you can start working in a spiral. Now from here you're going to locate your first single crochet of your previous round. With black yarn it's quite difficult to see. You're going to find your first single crochet and slip your hook inside and work your first single crochet of round 2 in there. I'm going back into that same stitch to work another single crochet. When you work 2 single crochets in the same stitch, it's called an increase. We're going to be working 6 increases in this round. Here's my second increase, third increase, fourth increase, 5th and my final one, increase number 6. Now this should bring your stitch count to 12. We're going to fasten off and finish off with this color now by working a slip stitch in the next stitch. And let's go ahead and snip this yarn off. Pull this out of the stitch and pull it down to secure it in place. Let's grab the color of the eye that we would like. I'm going for this lovely blue color. Attach that onto any of the stitches on the top. So we're going to slip our hook in top part of any of the stitches, pull the new yarn through, give it a little knot in place, and from here slip your hook back inside and pull up a loop, chain 1, going back into that same stitch to work your first single crochet of this round. From here you're going to follow this on with an increase. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And here's your combination that we're going to be repeating all the way around till we get to this point. So that's 1 single crochet followed on with an increase, single crochet, increase all the way around. Go ahead and work that and meet me back here. At the end of this round your stitch count should be 18. Now we're going to work our single crochet in the next stitch, which is the top part of your blue stitches, and that's my first single crochet of this round. I'm going to start using a stitch marker to identify the start of my rounds. We're going to follow the single crochet on with an increase and a single crochet after that. And here's your combination for this round: single crochet followed on with an increase, single crochet, single crochet, increase, single crochet. Repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round your stitch count should be 24. We're now going to finish off with this color by working a slip stitch in the next stitch. Let's snip this yarn off and close that stitch off. Now we're going to be changing the color over to white. Let's slip your hook in any of the top stitches here and pull the yarn through and give it a little knot in place. From here you're going to slip your hook back into that same stitch, pull up a loop and chain 1, going back into that same stitch to work our first single crochet. I'm going to follow this on with 2 more single crochets in a row to make the total count to 3. That's second and third. Once you have your 3 single crochets in a row, we're going to follow that on with an increase. And here's your combination for this round. 3 single crochets followed on with an increase. Repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round, your stitch count should be 30. We're now going to start the next round by working a single crochet in our first stitch, stitch marker back in place. Now we're going to follow this single crochet on with another single crochet, which makes this 2. So we've got 2 single crochets followed on with an increase, and follow this on with 2 more single crochets. And here's your repeat for this round. 2 single crochets followed on with an increase, 2 single crochets. Repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round, your stitch count is 36. We're now going to start the next round with a single crochet in our first stitch, stitch marker back in place, and we're going to follow the single crochet on with a single crochet in every one of these stitches all the way around. To finish this round, you're going to need 36 single crochets in a row. Once you finish that, you're going to follow the same method 4 more times to have 5 rounds of just single crochet. Go ahead, work 5 rounds of single crochet and meet me back here. At the end of 5 rounds of single crochet, your stitch count should still be 36. Now we're going to start the next round with 4 single crochets in a row. That's my first, second, third and fourth. Follow this on with a decrease. So slip your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop. Do the same with the stitch after that, pull up a loop. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 in one go. And here's your repeat for this round. 4 single crochets followed on with a decrease, and repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round, your stitch count is 30. Let's start the next round with 3 single crochets in a row. That's 1, 2, 3, followed on with a decrease. So slip your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, do the same with the stitch after that, pull up a loop. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 in one go. Stitch marker back in place. And here's your repeat for this round. 3 single crochets followed on with a decrease. Repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round, your stitch count is 24. Let's start the next round with 2 single crochets in a row. Here's my first, second, followed on with a decrease. Pull up a loop from the next 2 stitches, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 in one go. And here's your repeat for this round. 2 single crochets followed on with a decrease, and repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round, your stitch count is 18. We're now going to start the next round with a single crochet in our first stitch, followed on with a decrease. And here's your combination for this round. Single crochet followed on with a decrease, and repeat that all the way around. Now, as you can see, the space between the stitches is reducing in size with every single round. So make sure to fill this up with fiber fill and then work this round, and then meet me back here. At the end of this round, your stitch count should be 12. Now this is what the eye should look like at this point, and make sure that it's stuffed all the way to the top, because now we will be closing this gap off with this round. So to do this, you're going to be working 6 decreases in a row. Let's work on that together. That's first decrease, second decrease. Now each time when I'm working these stitches, I tend to give them a little pull, because we are trying to close this gap off, and it can be a little bit, we don't want any massive gaps at all. Third decrease, fourth, and next one, number 5. And my final one, number 6. Once you worked your 6 single crochets, you will still have a tiny little gap left, And to close that off, you're going to be working a slip stitch in the opposite direction. So you're going to slip your hook in the opposite stitch, pull up a loop from there and make this go through the loop that was already on your hook. Now this is only if the gap is small. If the gap is quite large, then you're going to be using a darning needle to sew that up. Because my gap was quite small, we're going to just work a slip stitch in the opposite direction, and that closes it perfectly. From here I'm going to slip my hook from further away and guide it to come out from that same stitch where we've just finished. Loop this yarn onto the hook and pull this into the stitches right here. Let's go ahead and snip the extra bit off. There we are. Give it a little squeeze, and that's the eye complete. Now on to the finer details. And for this we're going to take our red yarn and thread it into our darning needle. Now we're going to make some lines around the blue part of the eye to represent the bloodshot eyes. So we're going to slip the needle from further away, make it come out from the blue part like this, and pull this through, going back into that same stitch, but this time I'm gonna make the needle come out 2 stitches away. There's my first line. The second line I want it to be a little bit smaller, and just like this you're going to make any sort of size lines all the way around, and you can have as many or as little as you wish. Making sure that you don't pull on this thread too much, otherwise it will create a dent in place, and we don't want to be doing that at all. So we want a few different variations. So some are quite close together, some are quite far away from one another. So just do as you wish and create this lovely pattern. And once we've done that, once we're doing the last bit, we're going to slip our needle back to the starting point and make it come out from that same spot like this. Now we're going to take these 2 tail ends. Let's snip this one off. We're going to take these 2 tail ends and we're going to give them a little knot in place. And from here you can either use your hook or your darning needle to get rid of these strands. So I'm going to use the darning needle, slip the needle back into that same stitch, guide it to go through some fiber fill and make it come out from another side of the eye. I can go ahead and snip this yarn off from here. If it's still visible, give it a little squeeze and that should disappear. And if you're using a hook, you're going to slip your hook from further away, make it come out from that same stitch, loop this yarn onto your hook and pull this in, and you may want to repeat the process one more time so that it gets worked in quite a lot, and then we can go ahead and snip this yarn off. We're now going to add little white detail onto the black part of the eye, and for this grab your little bit of your white yarn, thread into your darning needle and keep the first round in the center and slip your needle in the space between round 1 and 2. I'm going to have 1 stitch space there, so pull the thread through and make it go through that same space one more time. And now from here I'm going to tie these 2 strands together in a knot. So like this, making sure that the knot sits on the side and not in the center of this white part. As if it's on the side, we can pull it back inside the stitches. So once we've done the knot, take your needle, slip it back into that same stitch, pull the white thread through, and we can go ahead and snip this off now. And do the same with the other one as well. And that completes the eye. Now from here you can either attach a keyring or you can attach a long string on top, depending on what you're using this for. So I will show you how to attach the keyring on here. So for this, let's grab our darning needle, threaded with white yarn. And we're going to hold the center, the base of this keyring next to the eye, so make sure that this part is on a side. You don't really want it on the bottom, so it needs to be on either right or left side. So from here, hold this right in the center. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds of white, and then that's where we're going to be stitching this, so it's central. Holding this in place with one hand, going to thread your darning needle with white yarn, slip it into the stitch and make it go through the keyring as well. And we're just going to hold one of the strands with our finger and go through that same stitch a few times. And once we're happy with the connection, you're going to take those two strands and give them a little knot in place. I always do double knot to secure it really well. Slip your hook back in, the needle back into that same stitch. Guide it to go through some fiber fill and come out from another side of the head of the eye. Snip this off. Do the same with the other. And there we are. This finishes our eyeball keyring. Hope you enjoyed making this keyring with me. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.